12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a lift.
Yahoo!
How'd that go for you? Did you have fun? Ryan Monso, Martin Maritine, Brad Towns will be along whenever he gets here. Martin, what'd you think?
I'm still in shock. It was great.
Okay. Well, that's really well said. You're taking the Brad role of not saying much.
Yeah, I mean that's the
Yeah.
most complete the team has looked, even in the Rice win. I mean, this is the best they've looked as a three-phase team. Your boy Jack Martin had a great day. The defense was good as usual. They got gashed a little bit with the run, but that's just nitpicking, I think. And then, yeah, I mean that's the best the offense has looked against a truly competent defense.
I have no idea really where to start with this. I think it's the smartest U of H has played in a long time. The most complete game, certainly not the prettiest, but you did exactly what you had to do to win this. They held onto the ball, and the defensive subs were agitating the hell out of the TCU people. U of H had the ball in this game. I can't remember a U of H team holding onto the ball for that long in a game. Brad, are you there?
I am here. Technical difficulties sorted out.
Damn. There's you can go here.
You're
a little bit of internet issue.
Yeah, you're freezing up.
Ticing the Texas Tech game. Good luck with that. What is your biggest take?
What? Huh? You're completely frozen, I guess.
I'm gonna guess he was gonna ask for your biggest takeaway, Brad. So if you want to start there,
it's just a full team effort. That was the thing that really stood out. It wasn't pretty. It's never going to really be pretty for a while. But they did everything that it took to get a W. Guys stepped up and made plays, and the defense finally got some turnovers. I mean, it's one thing that we've seen the defense play well, but they haven't really forced many turnovers. And this is a game that they absolutely did. They did exactly that. And you see a big difference in what the game looks like when you can do that, when you can flip the scoreboard and get the ball back out of time, if you will, instead of just having to rely on, getting third downs. You can get turnovers. I mean, anything can happen then. Everybody contributed too. Defensive line, linebackers were flying. Defensive backs look really good. And you shut down a really, really good offense.
Yes.
Offensively, they were opportunistic. Guys made plays. I mean, it wasn't picture perfect, but it's not going to be. But guys made plays when they needed to make plays. I was really impressed with the way that they utilized Chris tonight. I knew Chris was fast. I didn't know he was fast, but as soon as that guy got an inch, he was gone.
Yeah.
You mentioned the turnovers.
Yeah.
And that's a huge deal. But U of H fumbled the ball 3 times and didn't turn it over. And those 3 those could have been disasters. That could have been the whole ball game.
Mm-hmm.
But U of H fell on those balls, and the luck was with them. There were no turnovers in this game, if I'm correct. U of H did not turn the ball over
Officially.
Officially. And the real MVP in this game is the kid dressed as Shasta. That kid has not done a push-up in 2 weeks. He was having atrophy in his muscles, but he got back out there. He fought tonight, and I'm proud of him. Good job, Shasta.
He has to go and ice the chest.
Yeah, his boobs are struggling.
Exactly.
Today on our website, U of H fans should be realistic about their expectations. Everybody needs to reconsider their expectations, and then it happens.
Yep. There goes. Expectations are going to go through the roof. We're supposed to win every game from now on.
Yeah.
So Martin has not had this particular hazing, but typically when Brad or I say something definitive on our website, the absolute opposite happens the same day. And
yes,
now you need to have really high expectations of this team. Huge.
I tweeted that earlier.
Yeah. So you just finished the first half of your season. That's 6 games. There was no hope for 5 weeks. And now people are going to go way overboard.
Oh, yeah.
On the, Zion Chris for Heisman. Donovan Smith came back and was, first off, Donovan, he manned up on that drive. And I am so happy for him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, that says a lot about the character of the young man, that he can
what made it to where you couldn't, it wasn't going to be one of those games.
All intents and purposes, for the game he lost his job, and it would be easy to just kind of shut it down and feel sorry for himself. But
100%,
he stayed in the game, and when the team needed him, he got his shot, and he took his shot. He looked really good in that drive, very decisive, and threw the ball where he needed to throw. It's competition is great. Competition brings out the best in you, or it sends cowards home. And this is something that you hope that you would see from Donovan, that he would respond like this. So, I mean, just hats off to him. I'm proud of him.
Yeah, I thought the biggest play, maybe not of the game, but for Donovan specifically, it was a 3rd and 9, and he lowered his shoulder to get that first down, kept the drive going, allowed them to get more time off the clock. I mean, I think that truly speaks to his character. Of course, he's going to get out there and play football, but he could have slid early. They were in field goal range. Time still would have came off the clock, but he did everything he could to get the first down. And I think that's big. One of my gripes with him is that he's such a big guy. He doesn't necessarily always finish runs hard. He did on that play, and I thought that was big. Right. He could have just sulked and felt sorry for himself, but he didn't. And it's that drive is the reason they were able to seal the game.
Mm-hmm.
After not scoring for 2 games in a row, you went 135 or so minutes without scoring. You scored 30 tonight. Do you think the national story is going to be U of H ran it up against an inferior team? You were 17-point dogs in this game. I mean, that's why. And TCU never led. They were really never in it. The quarterback Hoover had been actually pretty good this season. He had thrown for a ton of yards, and he looked pitiful. The defense made him look pitiful.
Yes. Andre talked about it in the booth tonight. He said, but he said he made sure he highlighted the problems that Hoover was having tonight is mostly because the interior defensive line was in his face the entire night.
In that first quarter, Keith Cooper was in the backfield as much as Hoover was.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Cooper was everywhere. And Carlos Allen had a nice game. Mike Batten, once again, just showing you that he's a serious contender for an all-conference spot.
Yeah.
And man, just would have never seen that coming 6 weeks ago. What are you laughing at, Brad? What's happening? What am I missing?
Nothing. Just looking at the some of the pregame stuff that came out. You know, the pictures of the team or whatever. They had like blood and stuff all over their face, and they had a picture of Batten there, or blood or red paint or whatever. They had pictures of that, and Batten. It had a close up of him, and it just looks natural to him. It's a type of guy that you would think that would like before a game, like go old school sportatorium and cut himself over the top of his head just so he could bleed to get everybody fired up.
Yeah,
I love watching that kid play.
So the Tech uniforms, I guess, are going to stay. U of H is going to dress like Texas Tech.
Timu
For
Tech.
every game. Yep. Timu Tech. There you go. And how about Martin? You might, put your guns up. Martin, you might want to take a lap for this one. But how about that Dana Holgerson? Once again, showing what he can do with this U of H team. You have to be impressed with his consistency and his work ethic.
Today.
Anyways, Syracuse has beaten UNLV by 10. Very few penalties. There were a couple, maybe one or two drives, a couple of pass interference, a horse shit.
Do what?
And you may have missed me. My internet is just going to hell. There was a pass interference call in this corner right here below me, where the guy that was underneath the goalpost threw that flag 40 yards. And the guy standing right next to the play didn't call anything. So that pisses me off more than almost anything in football, is when a referee from 50 yards away makes the call the guys that are right on it don't make.
Agree.
Okay.
I think most of our penalties all came on one series, didn't it?
Really, it did. You had the delay of game right before the half, and then you had a couple of
the two pass interference and a face mask were all on one series.
I'm gonna go to try to figure out my internet.
All right.
Yeah, we had 5 penalties tonight, and I mean, 3 of them were on the one drive, like you said. Didn't even realize they had 5.
And then that one that one false start inside the red zone.
That's right.
But really, really clean in that drive when we were starting to rack up penalties. I'm like, oh shit, here we go. No, don't let this be the downfall. Don't start it here.
Yeah, you could see fans were sweating on Twitter. They were like, "Oh no, we're reverting back to what we were." But they figured it out. Thankfully, it was just one bad drive.
It's like the people diving off the bandwagon was about to start.
It took no time for that to happen. They had 5 penalties tonight, and they had 5 red zone appearances, which they converted all of today.
Which is nice.
Coming into the game, they had 7 red zone appearances on the season, so almost doubled that number. I mean, would like some of those to be touchdowns, but I think anytime Ryan can see his boy Jack Martin kicking it to the upright, he's gonna be all on board for that. So.
I love Jack Martin as a guy.
Ryan, explain it to the people what that last field goal was.
That was a well struck ball.
He hit it really hard.
How he wanted to hit it. They call it a piss missile.
Well, it nearly made me piss.
Yeah. He may have gotten that one or two laces up on the ball more than he wanted to. He kicked the ball very similar in the UNLV game, and that got blocked.
Right.
Thankfully for him, this one did not. That was a bit of a butt clenching moment, I think, for everybody on that sideline.
Yeah.
But that's good for him. I mean, I really like the guy. He is one of the most personable guys, and he agreed that next year, when he's not playing anymore, he's going to come do cats with us. And so
Nice.
we can make this 4 white guys instead of just the 3 of us.
Awesome.
A couple of things I wrote down. Devin Williams scores that first touchdown. That is a kid to watch. He has been getting more and more playing time as the season has progressed, and he's earned it. What he's doing in practice, and then what he's been doing in the games. And he made a big. I did not like that throw when it left Zion's hand, but he made a great catch in the corner of the end zone. Rashawn Sanford got his first collegiate touchdown. And I
Welcome to
think
the
Connor
party.
Diaz said that he leads the Big 12 in yards after contact.
Doesn't surprise me.
But I mean, the kid's 5 foot tall, and the fact that he's leading in that category says a lot about him and the kind of player that he is. I predicted 3 wins, have 2 at the halfway point. Feel pretty good. I predicted 3 wins. Brad said, I think last week, that they're still going bowling. Kept him alive.
I'm not giving up
alive.
on that. I'm not giving up on that until it's mathematically impossible.
Yeah.
But to be honest, before the season, TCU is one that I had as a W.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because they've been going downhill since they're not the team that they were 2 years ago, obviously.
No, nowhere close.
I just don't think their defense is much, and I think that their offense is vulnerable.
Well, that's
especially vulnerable to a type of offense that we're going to run, and we're going to slow it down. And thank you, TCU, also for helping us work the clock with your offensive substitutions.
okay. That was my favorite part of the game.
Yeah.
TCU would sub a guy out, and U of H would get on their hands and knees and crawl to the sideline, just taking as much time as they could. And they would have the guy subbing out all the way to the sideline before they trotted a guy on. And they were taking 15 or 20 seconds to do it. And that entertained the hell out of it. You could hear the fans in the stadium below us. We have glass. You can't really hear, but you could hear that. And they were pissed.
And honestly,
which made that more entertaining.
There in the third quarter, it forced a timeout, which
it really did.
It could have come back to be a really, really big thing.
Big problem.
Yeah. Because they have that. If they have one timeout on that final drive, things could be different.
But yeah, they ran that clock all the way down to the 1 before they really got in position. Hoover was not doing a good job of getting his guys to the line. They had problems and got down inside that 5 second mark 15 times. And I mean, they caused a lot of it themselves, but U of H really did their job.
Yep.
On first down tonight, this team was so much better than it has been in the first 5 games. It wasn't. They averaged 6 yards a play. They had 172 yards on first down tonight. And man, how good they were on first down. I mean, that's a ball game right there.
It helps.
What they were able
obviously
to do on second and third downs was so much just more interesting, better football. Shout out to Kendall Briles. Kendall had maybe the best offense we've seen in 30 years at U of H, 20 years, when he was here at U of H in 2018. Our first year doing this, Brad.
Mm-hmm.
And Kendall's kind of woven around. He went to Florida State, and went to Arkansas, and now he's here. I mean, it looks like Sonny and Kendall and all are going to get run out. I mean, it really does. And tonight has to be like a big nail in that coffin.
Yeah, I don't think this. It's going to be hard for them to survive this one.
Yeah. Martin, you there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, guys. I was just trying to confirm that that Big 12 stat for Rayshon.
Well, it doesn't matter if it's true. A guy said it in the chat, and that's all that matters.
So we're going with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds good.
U of H just says that the 4 turnovers forced tonight was the most since 2019. That's pretty crazy.
I believe it.
Progress is progress.
True.
That is true.
Which one was the fourth? I remember the 2 picks and then the Hershey McLaurin fumble. Which one was
the fourth was the fumble at the end that ended the game.
Right.
That's right.
How about Star Pizza? Can we give a shout out to Star Pizza?
Yes.
They had the buffet today. They'll have it again Tuesday. Next Friday, we might have to do a thing. Brad, you get in shape real quick so we can go to Star Pizza Friday.
Well, they got plenty of stuff for fat guys who are trying to be unfat.
Yeah, it's called water.
True.
You just should drink a whole bunch of that. Star Pizza, 3 locations in Katy, 59 in Shepherd, Washington, and Harvard. Get your stuff together. Go to Star Pizza. The people are great. We're going to announce something next week, pretty big for the GoCoogs.com that we're going to be able to do in the very near future. And I'm really excited about it. And Star Pizza is going to be a big part of that. And we're so excited to have them as part of this show and a part of what we do at GoCoogs. Thank y'all so much, Star Pizza, for everything you've done.
And thank you for the delicious food.
And for giving Towns the almost heart attack. Yeah.
They're not the problem. It's everything else but them.
Yeah, they're not the problem. They did not give the Martin is statistically the second best numbers guy on Cats behind Starnes. Martin, I don't know if you know, but we had a guy with us for the last couple of years. His name is Starnes. He did Stats by Starnes with his frumpy Muppet face there. I love that kid. He asked me for a recommendation tonight, and I was like, I don't know.
We'll see. Let's sit on that.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about that one. Kind of a weird time to do it, but I love him. I love that guy. Shout out Star Pizza. Go to Clear Lake. Get your location in Clear Lake there, Mike. What you doing, Mike? Or, just come into town. You're going to come for the game. Why not come for that? Burnett.
Yep.
Yeah. He did some nice things. You're gonna see a lot of that kid over the next few years.
It's kind of a battering ram. I mean, he's going to be your put the game away running back. He's already running very hard as a 18, 19-year-old. So in a couple of years, I mean, he's going to be tough to bring down. Maybe Taj Brooks-esque in a couple seasons.
That dude runs angry, and I love it. I mean, he gets the ball and he's looking to hit somebody, and whether you like it or not, whether it's effective or not, it's fun to watch. And he usually gets a few yards.
Yeah, there was a couple of plays where it looked like he was stopped at the line, and he always finds a way to fall forward. He's always getting positive yardage.
Brad, you brought up a good word, angry. That defense played angry tonight. That offensive line played angry tonight.
Mm-hmm.
There was attitude. And
Swagger.
we have not seen that
Mm-mm.
this year. Just haven't seen it.
Yep.
And it's just like, whoa. And I'm going to tell you, the offensive line, from where they were at UNLV and then really at OU to where they are now, there has been very good progress.
Yeah.
You saw when Demetrius Hunter went out of the game, the offense kind of ground to a halt. He comes back in the game and they start moving the ball again. Peyton Dunn, the guys in the comments are saying, was getting nasty. OL has improved so much. Yeah, I think that they had just a really nice game. AJ Halsey, obviously, he had a pretty good game. He was TCU's second leading receiver for most of the night.
Yeah, he's been a good player since he transferred here, but this was, I think, his best night. And
His
it was
best
great
game.
to see, like, on a national televised game. It was a great opportunity for him. And, I mean, he did really well today. By far his best game as a Coug.
I want y'all to comment on this. I did not see it. I guess this is a TV angle. Did he look upset at the end? And this very well could be about injury.
Yeah. I didn't notice anything where he was, like, upset about not playing. It's probably just he's a competitor and he wanted to finish the game.
It was his game and he wanted to finish.
But I imagine with where the game was and what they were going to ask Donnie to do, they were comfortable. And what they weren't comfortable with was trying to get Zion hurt when it looks like he's going to be the guy that's going to spark the offense for the rest of the year. So,
right.
Yeah. But you have 15 days now before you play again, which is ideal. Ryan, are you enjoying the light show? So the scoreboard is flat. I feel like the Seinfeld episode, the Kenny Rogers Roasters with the red light just coming in my face.
Kenny! Kenny!
Yeah. We do not know. It looked like a forearm. It may have been a forearm. It may have been a hand, but
yeah, they said forearm on the broadcast.
Okay.
When they were messing with him, I think initially it was a cramp when he went down, and Donovan came in for the one play, but at the end it was the forearm they seemed to be concerned with. I mean, he hadn't thrown the ball all year, so maybe throwing it, more than 10 times, he just started cramping up.
Let's take a second. Hats off to Willie for keeping this team together and keeping them fighting after the worst 2-game stretch I've seen in 27 years. But
I seem to
these guys wanted it tonight.
I seem to remember less than a week ago reading on social media and all over the interwebs that, wow, Willie looks like he lost this team. He lost this team. These guys are giving up. These guys are laying down.
And that man Jack is going to redshirt and transfer out. Did you hear that one?
Here's enjoy a nice 40-ounce glass of shut the fuck up.
I don't have anything to add to that.
It's a lot of work, man. These guys are going through a lot. I mean, it's a complete, like we tried to say last week. It's a this is taking it down to the foundation, and there's a lot. These guys got to go a long way, and not only do they got to go, they've got to get better from a talent perspective of maximizing their talent, both the coaching staff and the players, and the players actually putting in the work, and most importantly, the trust in what is going on. You're not going to be able to execute. You're not going to be able to be the player that you're not going to be able to be the player that you can be until you give full trust to the process.
Okay. The one thing he does not need is bourbon.
No.
Yeah.
13 years without it, I can continue without it.
Yeah. Because he would
But
drink some bourbon.
it it's just a matter of these guys. We can throw out all the sayings in the world. Progress isn't linear.
Yep.
And this game has zero effect. This is not going to. We played well today doesn't mean you're going to play well tomorrow. Played like shit the last 2 weeks doesn't mean you're going to play like shit today. This is just part of it. And after a week off, the real schedule starts.
Yeah.
Now you step up.
It gets difficult.
Now you get up into the pipe hitting motherfuckers. Sorry.
Your next game is at Arrowhead.
Yeah.
And then you come home for Utah, and I think Kansas State. It kind of gets hazy in that area for just remembering. But you got to feel like you can go to Kansas and compete.
I think you can compete against everybody. It just matters which team shows up, and you got to be able to trust the process. And you got to be able to trust Willie and the staff, because their game plan is not like a game plan we've seen in the past. Their game plan is, let's make this as ugly as possible.
Yeah. The take a knee offense is basically kind of what it's been. Zion Chris's 71-yard rush against TCU was the longest by a Houston quarterback in at least 25 years.
Really?
That's according to U of H Communications.
I thought Greg Ward and Derek King might have had one of those long ones too.
They had long ones, but maybe not that length. That's a wild stat if true.
True.
And good find, by the way.
Didn't David Pyland have one in 2012 that was like 65 yards or something?
I don't drink very much, but I was drinking a lot in 2012, so I don't have any memory of that.
It wasn't 2012, was it? He wasn't here in 2012. I'm getting old. I don't know the dates.
Was that not Pyland?
Was it?
No. Yeah, because it was Crawford Jones and Pyland and somebody else each threw a pick six at SMU, is what I remember. UNLV's come back and tied their game.
True.
Going to Arrowhead. Gary Ward never ran for that one either. Nope, he sure did not. Can we recognize one thing real quick? Houston is undefeated after Galen comes on the show and tells you to all back off. Undefeated. I don't know if I've ever said this, but I love that guy. When I was having internet troubles, I asked y'all who your impact player of the game is. If you have to say someone besides Dion Chris and AJ Halsey, who do you have?
You want to take this one, Brett?
You go ahead.
I'm going to keep saying it every week because he keeps showing up. But Herschel McLaurin, made a bunch of big
game
plays
today.
He forced a fumble. He was all over
Yep.
the field. But at the end of the game, he was 50 yards downfield in coverage, preventing big plays. And the guy, generally plays the anchor position near the line of scrimmage. I mean, he's literally all over the field, getting the ball back for the team, making tackles, out there in coverage on receivers. He's just, I think he's a great Swiss Army knife type guy that Shieldwood is using really well.
Brad?
Man, I have a hard time trying to separate the front seven. Those guys were just masterful. I mean, it's hard to separate them because, like, all year long they've played as a unit, which has been fantastic to watch. I mean, they're all there. They're all there together. Some plays are going to happen. They're going to give up a little bit here and there, but I thought across the board, all of those guys played extremely well. And I mean, especially Cooper was just extremely disruptive. He didn't have the huge stats, but he caused a lot of chaos. He caused a lot of things to collapse.
I agree with that.
That's the things that you're not going to be able to see on the stat sheet that will jump off the screen in watching film. Is that he didn't get the sack, but he's the one that caused the sack, or he's the one that caused the incomplete pass, or the loss of, or the tackle for loss.
I'm looking at the numbers. U of H, and this is preliminary, I guess, had 39 yards in the third quarter and had 62 yards in the fourth quarter. That's 101 yards in the second half. And you won a road game by double digits.
How much time of possession do they have in those two?
30 minutes. Oh, wait, no. I don't know, but it was a lot. Let's see. Second half, 2, 4, 9, 16, 18 minutes, maybe in the second half. Not as much as you would think.
Right.
But enough. A 4-minute drive. Here's your drives, just your bigger drives. 3.5, 4, 4.5, 3, 3.5, 5, 7.5. Your last two major drives where you kicked 2 field goals were 5 minutes and 7.5 minutes.
Well, that last drive,
the fourth quarter.
Well, that last drive was huge for obviously for the team, but also for Donovan, because we got the ball with 9 minutes to go, 9-ish to go.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you think, if they get 3 and out or hold us to, 5 or 6 plays, then TCU's got a real shot at it. But then he comes in, he makes a couple of throws, runs the ball well, makes good decisions, and then nuts up on that third down run.
It was a 14-play drive. I'm curious how many
plays,
even double-digit drives they've had this season, and they went 14 plays.
Maybe 1 or 2. I can't remember the last 14-play drive. The last time I remember a team doing that in a U of H game was Army, and they did it 2 or 3 times. It felt like in the bowl game in 2018.
When that we talked earlier in the year about how difficult it is to learn how to win. Why the Rice win was finally a big one, because you got to learn how to win, and this was a huge step of actually implementing learning how to win. I mean, that's how you do it. That's how you choke a game off and finish it off right there and just end it. And they did a phenomenal job of it.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at like the yards they had to go on their drives, so the longest one was the Zion Chris run, and 71 of those yards of those 75 yards were him on one play. And other than that, they didn't have to go 70 yards to score the entire game. So they were taking advantage of the short fields that the defense was giving them, which they have not done all year.
Right. Yeah.
I think, and I have to go back and watch it, but I really pay attention to plays where Malik Carr is in the slot, because weird stuff happens, good stuff for U of H, because people just don't know what to do with that enormous human in the slot. And I think it was the Zion Chris touchdown run. And earlier in the game, they went 4 wide and did the quick option, which was fantastic. And you saw just a diversity of play calling. They talked about shrinking the playbook, and they kind of did. They gave Zion stuff that he can do, and it really worked. And then at the end of the game with Donovan, they didn't put him in bad situations either. They basically gave up on scoring a touchdown on both of the last 2 drives, which thank goodness it worked, because if it didn't, that could be rough.
Yeah. I mean, it was getting
first half too. The field goal in the first half was the same kind of thing.
Yeah. The one where they went up 15, I felt, there was a little bit of a lemon to booty for that one because it was still a 2-possession game. You'd like to try to get into the end zone to really make it, a huge effort for TCU to try to get back into it. But I mean, it worked out, so it's great. But going forward, those are the kinds of things that you want to improve upon. Like if you get in the red zone, you want to try to get into the end zone.
Yeah.
Brad, you were a fan of the field goals, right? You are now.
Well, yeah. The field goal before the last one, I was a little disappointed in the 2 plays that led to that, but hey, it is what it is.
I'm going to tell you something. He got called for a PI that absolutely did not happen.
Yeah.
And
So
go ahead.
I think there's some situations where things are getting magnified with McCutcheon. I think he's played great all year. I do think he struggled a little bit with playing the ball in the air in the red zone.
Mm-hmm.
And that's been, a handful of plays. And those are going to be magnified because they lead to scores. And I get that people want him to bat those away. But I think he's done a good job. And I think I cut you off before you were going to say it wasn't even a pass interference. They threw the flag, so it was. But it was a good play by him.
Yeah. He's out there on an island. And, you're not winning 100% of those. You're probably not even winning 50% of those on defense. It's hard to say that anybody on this defense has killed you. So, okay. I mean, we all get our opinions, and that's fine. And Duarte is out tweeting. Let's see what he says about Zion Chris. He'd been dealing with a shoulder injury since the season opener. He felt great tonight. He had some leg cramps and had to come out. Donovan was ready, Willie Fritz said. Willie Fritz said the week leading up to TCU had 10 text messages from the Cougar faithful telling me not to lose the faith, and I really appreciate that. I sent 9 of those, and you're welcome, Willie. Just kidding. Do not text the head coach. Brad, why?
Why what?
Why have you not heard a word about Kevin Barbay tonight? I think Kevin Barbay had a really good night. He, if you look bad again tonight, if you get shut out, I mean, there's probably no way he keeps his job. He doesn't make it to Kansas, but he had quite the redemption night, and good for him because I like him as a person. I really do. I think he's easy to work with, and he answers questions. People were not happy with his interviews this week that we did, but I really think he answered the questions as you need him to do.
Well, I mean, everybody has to have somebody to blame. And by and large, most fans want to blame what they see right there in front of you, and they need somebody that's immediate. When this disaster has been coming for 4 years, this was set in stone 4 years ago that this was coming. It was all a matter of time.
Yeah,
we got a reprieve on it, and we got a year pushback because Clayton Tune got an extra year. But this was coming. This disaster was coming. And the only people most people didn't see it because they got all excited about we're going to be able to kill it on the transfer portal because everybody's going to want to come back and just be U of H proud and look how awesome. Look at this guy. These guys who sat the bench for 4 years at a P5 school were 4 stars in high school, and they're going to be superstars here. You're paying the price of shit that was going on 4 years ago. And you got to start over again. You got to start over with something completely different. So who's going to get the blame? I mean, shit, I heard people saying that Willie's not the answer. I don't know if he is or not, but I'm not going to say that
Correct.
here in year one, in
Week
6
5.
games in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tonight on the internet, not on our site, but on other sites, I read Kevin Barbet sucks and Zion Chris is the next Greg Ward. I mean, maybe we're overreacting kind of all the different ways. Settle down.
Yeah.
It's okay. I mean, I understand what people say during games. I understand it better than anybody. But, good for Kevin Barbet. U of H is flying home. There's no drive as normal. That would have been a long drive. He would have probably had to get on a Greyhound bus had he gotten shut out again. John Bledsoe was interrupted by a 12th man ad. We have decided to take the 12th man foundation money. And sorry you had to watch it, but we're going to make damn near 50 cents for you having to watch that ad. So thank you so much.
If the 12th man wants to come in and
Hey,
sponsor us, I'm not a.
we'll
I'm
we'll
willing,
do it all.
I'm willing to discuss it.
We'll do it.
Yes,
look at
yes,
this young
everybody.
man.
Yes, everybody in chat. I am a whore.
Yeah. Is AJ Halsey Ed Reed? People are asking. All of a sudden, Starnes is being a social media star.
He wants that recommendation.
He really does. He also said tonight that the Cougs are still alive in the playoff, which is true.
He did say that.
True.
Anything
You
is
run the
possible.
table, you win the Big 12 championship. Maybe a 3 seed, maybe a 2, maybe not. Brad, we're going to get you some overalls and a milkman shirt. And we're going to teach you to do the little dances and all the gifts that they have. I think you'll be excellent in that role.
Yeah. I mean, would I
Giggum?
have to, if I'm wearing overalls, do I have to wear a shirt? I mean, I thought that was just kind of.
Okay, so at the tailgate at the U of H game Saturday, that's all I saw. I walked down to the to Cullen where they moved the tailgates off of the grass onto Cullen. I walked down there to watch the Cougar Walk last week, and dudes were wearing overall shorts, not pants, shorts.
What?
Yeah,
Overall
With no
shorts?
yeah. Trust me, overall shorts with no shirt, and then the one overall not buttoned, and
I didn't know they were still celebrating Pride.
Was kind of it was kind of a new kidsy kind of feel
Yeah.
to it, like
Now that's
early
some-
new kids.
That's some old school colory bad shit right there.
Well, these were crackers. These were not color me bad.
Those were.
These-
Those were.
Yeah.
Yes, everybody, Google color me bad.
We can beat Kansas if we win the bye week. The bye week is going to be hard because you're going to come in, everybody's patting you on the ass for, having a great week. And then you overlook the bye. And then you find yourself 2 scores down.
True. We're
You've got to go in.
We're dogs against the bye right now.
You've got to go in with a killer mentality.
That's right. Star Pizza would help that. Everybody on an
Pizza.
off week.
Star Pizza. They're just nice people. They have good food. Brad eats it. I eat it. Okay, we got to get rid of the boots comment so we can show the damn ad. They're paying good money for that. They don't need to have comments over it. There you go. Eat Star Pizza. They're good people. That looked kind of weird. But whatever. What else do we have? Great crowd, by the way. 603 people. Our friends at Pod Slamma Jamma do not have this crowd, but we loved them. They're live still. Nope, they do not. They're nowhere close. But so when TCU is down 9, they kick the extra point. Should they have gone for 2 there? You go for 2,
No.
you're down 7.
Well, yeah, but then if you don't get it, it's a 2-possession game. At least taking the kick, you're at least giving yourself the chance if you score again to get the 2.
I'm
Okay.
real simple. I don't go for 2 until I have to.
Okay.
I'm not gonna try to preemptive 2 points. I would rather get the points on the board and deal with that at some other point.
So I looked this up tonight. In the NFL, coaches go for 2 in that situation 32% of the time. That shocked me. I didn't realize it would be that high. Now, I think Dana would go for 2 there. And 32% in the NFL is kind of high. So I think it was a question, it was a conversation, but I don't know. I don't know if I would have gone for the 2 there, but I think I would have probably gone for it more than the 2 of y'all. Shout out to the Hoop and Holler people.
Thank you
looks
very
like you
much.
sat in front of the scoreboard. Great show. Pay you more here than the 12th man does. Thank you.
Absolutely.
We'll take it. Yeah, so the Tech uniforms did great tonight. You got to love that. I did not like them. I thought they looked kind of terrible. The way Jack Martin was wearing his pants, it looked like yoga pants. And so
Ryan,
that is accurate, 100% accurate.
That's why chasing points is exactly why I don't like going for 2.
You know who convinced me to not do that? Art Briles. At NRG Reliant at the time, it was the Miami game. And he went for 2 early and missed, and then had to keep trying to catch up. And you were in that game, but you kept missing those 2-pointers. You just can't play that way.
No. So give me a breakdown of the special teams. How did we do overall?
You punted the ball well. I do not think they returned one.
Any penalties? No penalties on special teams?
No special teams penalties. And Jack Martin kicked the ball. Y'all probably could not see it on television, but he kicked the ball on kickoffs the highest I have ever seen. And it was consistent. They all landed between the 5 and the goal line, except for one down here that went into the end zone. But that's the goal, is to kick it between the 5 and the goal line and force them to bring it out, and so that you'll get them at the 15 or the 20. He kicked the ball. He had his best night as a Cougar tonight, without a doubt. Even though you didn't like where he kicked it on the ball, that last one, it went in.
Yeah.
But he definitely had his best night as a Cougar, and good for him. He could have mailed it in after he got benched. They told him that he was going to play, and he made the decision and told the staff, look, I need Jake Sock as my holder. And he fought to get the holder, and that's a combo that works. And Liam Doherty was holding for Joseph Kim, and he'd never done that before. And that's a pressure situation. And Jake just makes more sense for Jack. And so I'm glad that they got to work together tonight. Go ahead, Martin.
I was just going to make the point. The last couple seasons with Jack, Chris Forcier, who was here before with him, mentioned that Jack has a leg, and sometimes he'll get a little bit too much air, and that might have been some issues for him in the past. So him kicking it high is not really a shock.
Yeah.
And it seems good that he's getting the chance to make use of that, because it's obviously hang time is what you want for your guys to get down there for coverage. So it's good that that's finally working to his advantage.
Brad?
Hey, I was asking you about the special teams.
Yeah, I don't think you returned.
You pay attention to it a lot more than I do.
Well, I do.
I don't pay attention to it until I rewatch.
U of H did not. I don't think they returned any kick.
But we didn't muff any. We didn't fumble.
You didn't
any.
muff any. There was one that I was a little worried that Muse caught at the other end, but he made a clean catch. They did not return any kicks, I don't believe.
No.
And maybe that's just your strategy. You know, we're going to try to win this with ball control, and we're not going to take a chance to make a mistake on special teams.
Right.
So when you don't return anything, it's hard to get called for penalties, even though you have been called at the line twice on a punt return.
That's to say we've done that a few times this year.
Yeah, you figured that one out. You used to could not get that penalty, but now you can.
Truth.
I was kind of like this morning at 3:30 when I woke up, was wondering, I wonder if I should really go to this, if I should just watch this from home. And I'm happy that I came because this is pretty cool. I've now got to see all of U of H's Big 12 wins.
I mean, honestly, even if it didn't matter really what happened tonight, your pregame was worth the trip.
Now that's true. Martin, we went to a place today. I went with an unnamed reporter from the Houston Chronicle to lunch at a place called Babe's Fried Chicken. This unnamed reporter turned Towns and I onto this place a year ago for the Big 12 media days. And it's all you can eat fried chicken, or all you can eat catfish, or all you can eat smoked chicken or chicken fried steak. And then they give you, I think it's 5 sides in all you can eat.
Yes.
And it comes with these biscuits. And I mean, it's phenomenal. And the food is actually really good. I ate about 1.5 pounds of like a sweet corn today. And I could have just had that as my meal. And then the mashed potatoes were.
And they're all fresh.
Oh, it's so surprising. Like you would just think it would just be crap.
I gotta say, I keep turning my head to watch UNLV. They just drove to take the lead with 2-3 minutes to go. They're up 38-31. Their quarterback does look like our beloved Gary Ward.
I'm sorry, what was that name?
Gary Ward.
Okay, because it sounded like you said Gary World.
Gary Ward.
We'll have to go and do the replay on that.
Yeah, so UNLV is impressive.
The fact that you can win the ugly way that they were winning with the last guy, he was under 50% throwing the ball, right?
Yeah.
And then
46.
the way you've ran it, or you've run these last 2 games, that's impressive. You did not need to take chances on special teams, and kudos to them for that's exactly what they did. We're running this. We're not going to take chances. Babes is the GOAT. Babes is awesome. Like Hearts back in the day. It's really good. And I put unnamed Houston Chronicle reporter almost to sleep.
I bet
and
so.
for once, I did not have to pay. So that was nice.
Even better.
Gary World. I'm trying to see who I have missed that had a game.
Johnny Carter had a good game today.
He did. Stacey Snead did not really touch the ball very much. And that was kind of surprising. There were certain situations where I thought this would be a good spot for him.
I'm curious if he wasn't feeling that hit from early on. I mean, that kid laid a hit on him.
Now, that's true. I totally forgot about that. Clearly targeting.
Yeah.
And they almost, they waited quite a while to blow that whistle to replay that. but very clearly targeting,
Yeah.
and no real doubt about it. Fournette had 12 carries. I just did not realize he had that many. He had the most attempts. Zia and Chris had 11. Chris had 97 yards. That 71-yarder kind of helped.
Yeah.
The play to Joseph Manjack on the sweep, that has not worked all year. They tried it with Mekhi Muse. They tried it with him. They tried it with Marquise Shoulders.
Well, and you go back and you watch that play. If you pull the ball and run the option as they were showing option, if you pull it, you get 30 yards on that play.
Yeah, I believe it.
At some point, we're going to use the option. I swear.
So it seemed more deliberate today. I remember you guys asked before, like, can Donnie pull the ball on those options? And it seemed like there were other aspects of the offense. Like towards the end, there was a play. I think Zion made a little something happen, got like 2 yards, but there was Manjack coming across on the sweep. He could have thrown it to. He had the option to give it to the running back, and he decided to run. So as the season goes on and they get more comfortable with that, that's either Manjack as a lead blocker. DB has to make a choice there, and he gets it out to Manjack. There were a lot of plays where you could see, like, okay, this could develop into something. I thought it might have, led to a big play downfield because the safeties are going to have to come up to play the run. It led to a 71-yard run for Zion, I think, is really what happened, because it spread them more horizontally than compacted them vertically. But that's taking advantage of somebody's abilities and molding your offense to it. I mean, I thought they did a great job of that today. And of the 15 throws Zion had, he never put the ball in harm's way, which was also very good to see.
Right.
A lot of it because they gave him simple throws to make, but the ball was where it needed to be. Even on that fourth down play early on that they didn't convert, it was an accurate ball. The DB just made a good play.
Yeah,
maybe there was a better read. I don't know, but the ball was where it needed to be.
Right. Ryan, you know where you do understand that what this means?
I have no clue.
Okay.
Is that a pop culture thing that I need to?
Well, I mean, yeah, if you go back 20 years.
Okay. Well, I'm still not to 20 years ago.
But at least you caught the Color Me Bad reference.
Barely.
No, this is The Matrix. I like this one.
Never saw The Matrix.
Let me give that a star
None of them,
over
huh?
here.
No. I've seen like 7 movies in my entire life.
True.
Okay.
And 3 of them were The Godfather. So, I mean, I don't watch movies. The only time I watch a TV series is when Towns pesters me for like 10 years to watch something. And then I'm like, oh yeah, that was pretty good.
And
like,
now
yeah,
you
I told you to watch that in 2008.
And now you watch The Wire every year.
Yeah. I just watched the Mr. McMahon docu-series, and I watched that in the first year it was out. And
Shock.
that's
Well,
really
not really
good.
a shock because you're
Yeah,
a
I mean,
wrestling fan.
I was, well, as a kid. I haven't watched it in 20 years. I got to go to WrestleMania. You and I went to WrestleMania, the Hall of Fame induction, Steve Austin
That's
and
right.
Ricky Steamboat.
Yep.
But that's probably the last time I ever really paid attention. Yeah, that was fascinating. The D-line looked really stout. You're getting play. Xavier Stillman, I met him in July, and I didn't know anything about him. And, he has been really solid. Lee has been good. Every time I say his name, I say it different, so I'm just not even going to try. Zystrom, who had a great game a week ago and then played well tonight. I want to definitely, yeah. No, you do not. No, you do not.
But that statement about the defensive line, it says something that you can list those guys, but then you've also got Carlos Allen that'll come in and play extremely well. What's his name? Mac will come in and play really well. Yeah. I mean, you got actual 8 guys you can run in there, and you're not really dropping off much The only changes that you're going to have are guys who can do a couple of different things a little bit better than the other ones, which sets it up perfect to being able to attack situations.
I thought Mac had a nice game. His best play was when he took 90 seconds to come in on a defensive substitution. Really, really nice play by him. I did not see this. I just wasn't paying attention to it. Did this happen? Did he not play at all? I
don't
mean,
think so.
like even a blocking, it's just hard to see that. But man, that's surprising.
I don't know what's going on there.
When Donovan was warming up, when Zion went down with that cramp, that's who we were throwing to, was Parker Jenkins. And so I guess in my head, thought that he had come into the game.
Oh, UNLV nearly finished it off there.
Okay, so that means they did not finish it off.
No, they had an INT right in their chest.
Well, that'll happen. This is something that I don't think we've given enough attention to. Is that when you're trying to build a culture and you have all these guys, in Martin's article today, it was mentioned that 17 of the 22 starters from UTSA a year ago weren't available today. 15 of them left. 2 of them were hurt.
Yep.
I mean, like the guys you have that were available are Donovan, who did not start, Manjack. I don't even know who the other 2 were, to be honest.
Halsey?
But I mean, maybe it was Halsey. But I mean, you're not. There's not many guys, and that you lost 179 starts from a year ago. There's only 264 starts in the year total, 11, 12 games. And you lost 65% of them. And then to bring in 63 new guys
With a brand new staff.
with a brand new coaching staff. So if you brought in 63 guys with the staff that was here, it'd work a little better
But
because there'd be continuity. But with this
isn't unique though. You know, it's not unique.
It's gonna be very ununique, whatever that word is.
If you've been paying attention across college football, the first month of the season was trash.
Terrible football.
Teams looked bad. Offensively, scoring was way off from where it was.
Quarterback play has been atrocious.
Yeah. I mean, nobody's looked really good. It's going to start getting better as we move deeper into the schedule now that people have enough time to play each other. But you look at a couple of years ago, OU went through this when Venables came.
Yeah.
I remember being at Media Day last year, and Venables said, on our roster, we've got 100 players that have played either 0 or less than 1 year at OU. You know, his first year, they finished 6 and 7. One of their
Something
first times
like that,
to be
5 and 7. Yeah.
One of the first times for them to be under 500 since like John Blake. Way back in the day.
It might have been their first. I
mean,
I don't know if Bob Stoops ever did it.
You know, that Cincinnati team that throttled us? They finished DFL last year. They finished below us last year.
Beat U of H, but yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, everybody did at the end of the year.
Yeah. Thank you. Martin, the people just, they're not responding to you. They don't think you're very good. And I wish they did, but they don't like you. And that's okay.
The way they phrase that, it's like, what do you mean to date? Are you expecting it to be worse at some point? You've been pretty good so far, but you know,
we're watching.
We're just waiting.
Fall off.
We're just waiting for you to to fail. You take a step back, you're fired. You're going to get quote tweeted, and people yelling and screaming at you.
So they're basically mowing the grass here,
Yes.
the turf. And I just don't understand.
You got to get that stench off the field.
Well, I just don't know why you do that tonight.
Well, I mean, you don't
That
want
seems a
you
little
don't
weird.
want the. I mean, if you got a team that's gone out there and shit all over the field, you don't want it to let it soak in.
That's exactly what you want to do. You need to.
Great fertilizer.
That's what we
Yeah.
want them to do. Yes, absolutely.
You scored 13 points on TCU a year ago.
Yeah.
And I think it was a kick, if I remember. I don't think it was an offensive score.
Matt Golden returned to the
That's what it was.
yeah.
And to come out tonight, I mean, let's not pretend that 30 is like the greatest thing ever, but for this team, that's pretty good.
Well, you
Yeah.
gave
And-
up what 36 last year too.
Well, you gave up. Yeah, it was in the 30s. I mean, it was a beatdown. It was embarrassing. Your first ever Big 12 game. And, but this team, I mean, this was, TCU may just completely fall apart. They may fire their staff, but it doesn't change the fact that this was a big win for U of H.
Mm-hmm.
It's every game that we play anybody in state's going to be, it's a huge battle because of course the win matters, but it matters for recruiting because we're recruiting the same guys. We're going after the same people. They're trying to pull guys from us that are committed. We're trying to pull guys from them that are committed. Anytime you can get a leg up on anybody in state, that's a feather in your cap.
I believe now you're 2-3 versus in-state schools in the Big 12. You lost to TCU, you lost to Texas, you lost to TCU, and then now you beat TCU and Baylor. I mean, that's not the worst it could be. As bad as this team has looked over the last 11 games, that's pretty good. Short leash, Martin. Short leash.
Oh, it's like the military all over again.
Yeah.
Though not really. You can't get fired in the military.
I'm going to tell you, if you get fired from this, time to reevaluate.
You're just gonna have to go. You're gonna have to go cut the grass at Ryan's place.
Or
with
here, they
scissors.
got jobs available.
With scissors.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really like this stadium too. They have cleaned this place up. When we were here 20 years ago, tomorrow will be 20 years.
At old timey Amon Carter.
Amen Carter. When they at the start of the third quarter, they kicked off 3 times because of 2 offsides penalties and then returned it 96 yards. Was the most frustrated I'd ever been. It was hot. It was a crap stadium. And that day was brutal. But they have changed this place a ton. We were here in 2005 for the bowl game against Kansas. I believe that was 2005. I was here in 2009 for when Case threw 6 interceptions in the freezing cold and rain. I directed the Spirit of Houston that day. Little known fact. And then I missed the 2014 bowl and then the bowl game in 2018. I didn't even think of coming. So this is my first time back since then. Your first win here since 1989. 35 years.
Wow.
I mean, Andre threw for 577 yards, I believe, in that game.
Man, he threw for our entire offense.
Yeah.
Up to
And
date.
wherever I found the box score had that U of H had, I believe, 1,400 first downs. So shout out to that run and shoot team for their 1,400 first downs in that game. I assume that's in the top 10 of all time.
Maybe.
Yeah. Okay. How about we wrap this up and I can go back to the Hampton Inn?
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
You get up
It
early for
was-
that continental breakfast, or you doing?
What do you mean early? My early and their early, way
Well,
different.
yeah, that's true. I guess it won't be there at 3 a.m.
No, it probably will not.
Well, I mean, there's got to be a Waffle House around there.
Saw several today. Very excited. Mr. Gaddy's right near my
That's still a
hotel.
thing.
And your onion pizza.
Nobody shits on Mr. Gaddy's on this fucking website. I'm going to tell you that right now. That is outrageous.
Do they exist in Houston?
There is one in Kingwood, and there is one on the east side on Federal.
Yeah, it's probably about as
one.
rare as Grandy's.
Yeah, we don't have. Yeah, we used to go to that growing up. We had Mr. Gaddy's on Highway 6. That
Oh, there was
disappeared.
a Grandy's in Oklahoma City, I think. That's where I saw it.
Yep.
Yeah, I Mr. Gaddy's was the pizza I grew up on. And when U of H used to play at Rice and there was that Mr. Gaddy's across the street, I remember we did a fall down Friday, a Friday night tailgate, and I went and bought like 14 pizzas for our tailgate, and then like 5 people showed up and like, well, shit, what am I going to do with all this? But we managed. So yeah, I love Mr. Gaddy's. Not Star Pizza, but you know, it's the best pizza in town. Honest. Brad, final thoughts. What'd you think about tonight? Where does this team go? Is it now going to be another a 7-game win streak heading into the Big 12 championship game?
It could be a 7-game win streak. It could be a 7-game losing streak.
Well, it can't be that.
6
yeah.
game.
Yeah.
But regardless, it was a huge win. I mean, all wins are great, but this one is this one's extra special. You get it on the road. You get it at TCU, and you get it after playing pretty bad offensively. And
I'm sorry, pretty bad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
I don't want to keep bringing that up, but you know, it was pretty bad.
Was pretty bad.
So what are you going to do? Anyhow, total team effort, exactly what you want to see. You know, this week, we can pretty much go across the board and say progress all around. And, you know, it's great, especially going into a bye week. Everybody's going to be walking a little bit lighter, feeling a lot more confidence. And, you know, I just look forward to seeing where they're going to come out on the other side of the bye week and just carry that swagger with you for a little while. Because if nothing else, this proves to everyone in that organization that this team can be good.
You said they were pretty good kind of across the board, but I'm trying to think. I don't think any position group or any unit played bad or played even mediocre. I thought everybody had a pretty good day.
Yeah.
And that's what, you know, if you've been as bad as you've been, to go win on the road by double digits, everybody has to play well. And they did tonight.
Yep.
Before I let you talk, Martin, someone left like an entire thing of cotton candy on a little shelf that's right in front of me. And the people cleaning came right by and did not take that cotton candy. And I'm taking that as a sign that I need to go after that.
You should.
Martin, I should. Yeah, who knows what it is, but I'm going to try it. Go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, a lot to be encouraged by today. I think, of course, I'm sure Kevin Barbie was scouring social media to see how he could improve his offense. And obviously, you know, he found the answers.
That was smart.
Yeah. You know, Zion Chris looked competent as a thrower today. He'd shown flashes all year, and sure enough, he breaks a 70-yarder in his first game as a starter. And, you know, I imagine if he doesn't have any injuries, he's not going to look back. It's his job at this point. it was encouraging to see Donnie not give up. So if nothing else, we know what we have in our backup going forward. The the offensive
I have
line
no
looked good.
idea what's happening.
I don't know how to get it back. I don't know how to get it back.
This is the worst thing I've ever seen. Jesus, Towns. Oh, there we go.
The offensive line, I mean, this was their best game. I mean, even the Rice game, as productive as that was, I mean, this is the best defense they would have played, the most confident team they would have played to this point, and they held up well. Special teams, we talked about, did a good job. I thought the defense was getting gashed early with some runs, but I mean, statistically, it really wasn't that bad in the end. And they just had Hoover all kinds of confused. I mean, there were 2 or 3 balls he just floated out to the left, could have easily been pick sixes. I mean, I don't really have anything to be negative about for today. I'm still not prepared to say that they're going to win the Big 12, but this is very encouraging. It's something that they need to use going forward. And schedule's only going to get tougher, but they're going to have confidence going into the bye week and then developing from there.
I had not had cotton candy in 30 years, and that was horrible. God.
Not what
And
you remembered, huh?
I like sweets, but man, that was rough. But I'll probably finish it. Your dentist will approve. Yep. And there's a Mr. Gaze in Clear Lake. I missed that. It's on Barrier Boulevard and maybe El Camino Real. I'm not really. No, it's not El Camino Real. Maybe Space Center. That's an old timey buffet. They haven't changed the decor. Mr. Gaddy's really hasn't redecorated in my lifetime, and it's the same look that it was 50 years ago.
That old school projector big screen TV with the projector tubes down underneath the front of it.
Yeah, those $5,000 televisions.
Yeah,
from the 80s. This was fun. Like the people in the U of H people were all kind of compacted. The U of H staff and then people that cover U of H. It was Joseph Duarte and Steve Helwick from SB Nation and me. There wasn't anybody else. And we were kind of all in the same area. And it was like the most lively it's been all year. Like, hey, look what we get to cover. This is fun. And so, it's been a really a fun day. And you have to feel great for Zion Chris. Our photographer, Mario Puente, told me in the spring that he thought Zion Chris was going to start. And I just was like, there's no way they're going to go with Donovan until he drops. And sure enough, tonight they gave him that chance. And you know what? He took advantage of it on the second drive and never looked back. And so.
Can you add that picture I just sent you, Ryan?
What do you mean sent me?
Texted you.
I can't do that. I'm using my phone right here. But it's fine. You can add it yourself.
I don't know
You
how.
just. Okay. That's gonna fester. I'm gonna worry about that one. But this was, you got to feel great for Zion Chris. The defense continues to impress. This is so different than what we've seen virtually the entire season. You played OU close, but it was not like you did anything offensively. Your only touchdown was that bomb to Manjack after he got the PI down the left side, and then he went deep down the right side and scored that TD. And you didn't really do anything else. The Rice game just looks less and less as time goes on. But today, you played well in every aspect. The defense was getting gashed a little bit, but it was bend and they never broke. And, they made those stops at third down, a fourth down on that first drive. When TCU tried to hurry up to the line. And I mean, in the last 20 years, when a team has done that against U of H, I think they were like 100%. Like that's never not worked against U of H, but it didn't tonight. And that set up a really good, it set U of H in a really nice way. They set that tone early. You missed on a fourth down, but then you stopped them immediately. And I think they went and scored. That's when they threw it to the corner to Devin Williams.
Mm-hmm.
So, great night. And you get the rest of the weekend. Was that tonight?
Yeah.
Goodness. Put that back up. Why not? I guess this is from U of H, because who else would have it? But that's a great photo. The creative team does a great job.
You got to celebrate these.
Yeah, well, I mean,
this is what it's all about. This is what you do.
Yeah,
I mean, these are the fruits of all the work that you've put in, and it's extra special for guys going through what this group has been going through.
Yeah.
They've been after last week. I don't know if I've seen. I don't think the fan base, at least that I could perceive through the interwebs, basically,
mm-hmm.
I don't think it was as bad last year as it was this week going into this game. I mean, it seemed more people were more crushed this week than ever than in any point last year.
Yeah, there was never an enthusiasm for the Dana Holgerson era. But what you've seen in the first 5 weeks is there wasn't really one for Willie either. People have been taking kind of a wait and see approach. And then the last 2 weeks has been just completely off the reservation. And, I think we're going to see some happier people. I don't think they should be so happy that they compare Zion Chris to Greg Ward. But, maybe somewhere in the middle. Maybe, burn Barbie at the stake and Zion Chris
somewhere in the middle
is going to win 13 games. Good. Yeah. Maybe good. But very, very fun night. Very good for the fan base. Definitely going to make doing what we do a lot easier for the next 2 weeks.
Yes.
Because if you lose this game, God, just dealing with people who just feel like the sun has gone away forever. Just don't need that.
No. And the good thing is that the basketball story I have in pocket can stay in pocket until another week or two.
I was looking on the back end of the website, and I've noticed that Jamie Hollingsworth has started doing his early season previews for basketball. That is
yeah.
5 weeks away.
Yes.
But he's already getting to it.
He is
frankly,
a machine,
I'm disappointed that
I can't wait.
Why has he waited so long? But love Jamie. Going to have great basketball. We are going to add a new person for basketball coming up. I'm very excited. It's a student. We are going in a little bit different direction with our company and with what we're doing for basketball this year. And you'll never see anything like it. No one's ever done it at U of H. We're just going to, last year, I mean, let's be real. We did more than anybody's ever done. And this year we're going to crank that up and go a whole different speed.
That's all we can do, right? You got to keep getting better.
I'm going to die at some point, so it's going to be on you. I think the West Virginia trip is what's going to kill me.
You think that
you're the one. I'm keeping you as the long-term plan, and I'm
Yeah.
out on short term. Yeah,
That's a good plan.
I'm a thinker right here. We're at almost 700 people watching this live, which is fantastic. I mean, you know, there was a point at the Iowa State game where there was not 700 people in the stadium. So this is pretty cool. Appreciate it. Any good comments, Brad? Have you seen anything? Huge step forward. Way to go to the bye week. Early line is U of H -2 over the bye week. Prediction: Starnes will step in when you die. Bring it. Come on. I will eat that cotton candy right now if it means he has to come do this. It's only because the UNLV. Don't say that, Connor. That's not very nice.
They
I'm
did
going to
get
ban
screwed.
him. Did they?
Yeah.
Okay. GoCoogs.com all week. We're going to have big news this week. I'm super excited about it. It's just a real different direction for us. I'm excited. And then you had a great week. I'm not going to sleep tonight because of the damn light, this scoreboard that has just been flashing in my eyes for 90 minutes.
They might have Kenny Rogers up there.
Oh, yeah. I did have the chicken today, so I did have a little Kenny Rogers. So go Cougs, check us out this week. Check out what Martin wrote today about your expectations, and just disregard all of it and have really, really high expectations because you just won at TCU for the first time in 35 years. Thanks so much for watching, guys. We appreciate it. We'll see you Sunday for Cats. I think we're going to take next week off, Brad, or not Cats, talking about them Cougars. But we're going to do this Sunday and then take next week off, maybe, probably.
We'll see.
Yeah, one of us might be dead.
True.
Yeah. So thank y'all so much. We appreciate it. GoCoogs.com, Star Pizza. Get you some pizza, although not right now. There you go. Over to Andy's show. I'm going to go watch Andy's show. And I'm going to boo the hell out of them. But I love those guys. Thank y'all so much for watching, and we'll see you Sunday night.
See ya.